If you're going through it blind, I mean, good luck. It's a treacherous path.
Which kind of brings us on to another misconception that people have before they get started that I wanted to chat to you about, Lewis. And that's this concept of people thinking that now is not the perfect time to start a business. Whether that's now, whether that was 4 years ago, whether that's in a few years' time, I'm sure it'll be the same. People have this ongoing thought in their mind that now's not the right time to start. So how would you respond to that? How can you kind of guide people to shift that mindset that now isn't the perfect time?
Yeah, it's right, James. The fear that is so prevalent that it's just not the right time to start a business is very, very common. But it is crucial to see past that if you're ever going to get traction and get moving and build momentum. That fear, that illusion of, it's not the right time, has been around since before the many years I've been in business and will be around for the many years after I've been in business and I'm gone, right? So it's not going to change because it's something that is a misconception that's baked into many people's psyche. But if we can, if you think about it this way, I try and go for a run most mornings, right? I get up. If I said I'm going to wait until the sky is clear and it's the most blue sky, beautiful sunny day before I go running, sometimes with the British weather in the winter, I'd be waiting a long time before that day came, right? But you also know that you'll feel better after that exercise, after that run, after that morning walk. So sometimes I just get up and go when it's dark, raining, pouring. I almost treat it as like, bring on the challenge. Like, let's go. The bit of rain's not going to hurt me. Let's just get out there. And I always feel better after it. And it's kind of the same. It's like, the weather in that case is and the market conditions. You might think, let me just wait until after Christmas, or let me wait till after I've got through this project at work, or let me wait until, like, these are kind of saying, I'm going to wait until that clear day before I go for a walk or a run. I think you have to sometimes just say, come rain or shine, I'm doing this and I'm doing it now and I'm getting started, because the best time to start was 5 years ago. The second best time is right now. Get it done. So businesses have thrived in all kinds of economic conditions. Look at some of the most successful businesses in history. Many of them are started in recessions. And so whatever the market climate is at the moment, people are going to want to buy products online. That's just the nature of e-commerce. It's this train that keeps chugging through. Despite the market condition, you're either on the train or you're not. And if you're just watching it, waiting for it to go by and thinking, I'll wait for some point, eventually you're going to miss it and it's going to be gone. And you're going to be standing there regretting the fact in 5 years' time that you never took action and did anything about it. So if you feel those voices of, maybe you should delay, maybe you should wait till you're back off holiday, maybe wait till, this stuff at work irons out, there's redundancies happening at work, let me see where it lands. Like, I think if you wait until something like that happens, it adds so much pressure if you then decide to launch, because then you're thinking, well, I have to make this work now. Like, I absolutely have to. My whole career depends on it. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself versus just starting it on the side, initially getting it up and running, making a few extra £1,000 per month, and then eventually starting to ease back from the day-to-day work, stop trading your time for money and go all in on your business once it's proven. But you've got to get that. You've got to get out for a run in the rain. You've got to get out for a walk in the rain. You can't wait for that clear sky day, because it may be a long time, if ever.
Exactly. Especially in the UK, if you were waiting for a perfect sunny day, you would be waiting forever. And it seems to happen in the same way with business, where people are waiting for this mirage of a perfect day, and it doesn't seem to come either. Now, I started my e-commerce business in 2021, which I'm sure many people would have told you at that time and were telling me that it wasn't a great time to start a business. Whether that was a global pandemic, whether that was the issues with Suez Canal and products not being able to get into the UK, lorry driving shortages, all of these different things going on at the time, there were just reasons why starting an e-commerce business selling physical products wouldn't be the right time. But regardless, I pushed on. Otherwise I never would have done it. And there will be millions of reasons, no matter when you're listening to this podcast or watching us now. I'm sure you could probably pick out something that's not perfect about why now is the time to start. But that's exactly the point, because there'll always be something. So if you focus on external factors, then there'll always be something that you can find. So instead, the shift that you talked about, Lewis, is actually focusing on personal circumstances and making sure that you're ready to get started now, rather than just waiting for external factors that you have no control over. Otherwise, you'll be waiting forever. So I'm glad you agree with me on that point, Lewis. And I wonder if you do on this misconception that I've come across a lot myself as well, is that when people go into a business model, there'll be difficulty that normally arises not too long after you get started. And what I see very often is that as soon as that difficulty arises, there's another shiny object on the horizon that they can go into instead. And at that moment, when it's more difficult to proceed with the current business and it looks nicer to start with a new one, a lot of people jump ship and kind of hop around between different business models. And that's obviously a huge mistake. Why, do you think, have you seen that for a start? And why do you think it's so common? And why is it so dangerous, this shiny object syndrome?
Yeah, there are two parts to this, or two common scenarios that I see play out. So sometimes it's when I'm speaking to a prospective member who's thinking about, jumping in, joining the Dropship Unlocked Masterclass, and it's kind of like, I think I want to do it, and then sometimes you'll hear them say, I think, do you know what, I'm gonna have a go on my own for a little bit, and I'll come back to you. And I'm like, I really do wish you the best of luck, and I really, really hope that you're 1 in 10,000 that do figure it out on your own. But I've got to, I would be not doing my job if I was not fully upfront with you and told you that every person I've spoken to who has ever said that has never gone on to do it. And most of the time, the people who do eventually succeed, who said that, come back to us later and say, do you know what, I messed up. I've wasted a few £1,000s. It's not as easy as I thought. There was, the devil was in the detail. I didn't realize it. I thought it was a lot simpler than before, but I missed some crucial stuff that was under the surface that maybe, because we can explain this business model and it is very simple when you have the steps to follow. But if you're going through it blind, I mean, good luck. It's a treacherous path, and there are some pitfalls that you can't recover from if you get it wrong. And we don't get it wrong when we go through the process that we use, because we've learned from our own expensive mistakes, the mentorship that we've each taken on board throughout our journeys as well. And obviously you've got a community of other people there to help too. So that's the first thing. I think it's not even so much the shiny object. It's more like, no, I like the object, but let me just try and figure it out on my own. So that one is quite a kind of an insidious one that so many people get wrong, and they say, I'm going to just give it a crack on my own and, see how I go. And I'm like, it's almost like, I'm really sorry to hear that, because it's basically what I hear from that is like, I'm going to waste 6 months of my time, pour loads of money down the drain, and probably get disheartened and defeated and think that the whole model didn't work. But it's because they didn't have a strategy to follow step by step along the way. So that's the first one that really, I find it hard to watch. The second one is, like you said, if they come into this, but they're kind of looking over their shoulder as well at like a different model that's caught their eye over there. And they're like, well, I mean, I could do e-commerce, but this AI thing's really fascinating over there. And like, a lot of people starting these AI, businesses and helping local businesses with AI chatbots and AI agencies and stuff. Or they're like, a friend of mine does Amazon FBA. I feel like maybe that could be the route. Or print on demand seems like it could be good. And it's funny, these models have like come and go. They've become, flavor of the month, and then they've kind of disappeared into insignificance. Throughout the whole time, we've just been gradually helping members build e-commerce businesses using good old-fashioned physical products that arrive at customers' doors. It's very difficult for something like AI to create a physical product in someone's house. I don't think we're quite there yet with the technology of like transporting products, teleporting products through AI. But the thing is, like, it's very tempting. You're in a world of marketeers. You're seeing different ads. You're seeing people, dangle these shiny objects in front of you and suggest why they are the answer to all the things that you've maybe been wondering. But using AI as an example, because that is the topic at the moment everyone's talking about, look how quickly it's progressed. The people who started businesses with AI as their differentiator a few months ago, many of them are out of business now, because the AI that's publicly available to people has up-leveled so much that now everyone and their grandma can do the things that these specialist agencies before were saying that was their unique differentiator. And so suddenly it's like, oh no, you need to have a prompt engineer and you need to have like a specialist agency to help you do this stuff. Now you just type in a basic prompt to some of these models and it's like, wow, the results you're getting out are as good as you would have had to pay a lot of money to an agency to help you with before, or a piece of specialist software. So I think that margin that kind of differentiation margin is closing, that gap is closing. That's why I like physical products, because it's like, well, I don't see what is going to come along and change this. Amazon has existed for a long time. We know that is not profitable enough or feasible for them to have their warehouses stacked to the ceiling with the type of products that we market through the Home Turf Advantage. The bigger products, the more expensive products, it doesn't fit the economics, which is amazing because we can use that to our advantage. So the long-winded way of kind of talking about all of that is I see it where people get distracted, where they see that they think, I'll just go it alone, see if I can figure it out. 99% of the time, they don't. And the 1% of the time that they do is where they've come back to us later and said, I've wasted a lot of money here. I'm pretty deflated and disheartened by this whole thing. Can we just get this done now? And then they come in. And by that point, their energy's like on empty because they've just spent so long trying to figure it out. So yeah, I think those are the things that I see. Mastery takes time. You've got to stick with one model. So pick a model that you can see lasting into the future. Don't pick a model where your differentiation window is closing by the day. Jumping around means you never truly learn the ins and outs of an industry. You're just kind of like jumping from one to another and print on demand. Oh, no, that dried up and got saturated. Oh, Amazon have closed everyone's margin and are gating categories and stopping people from selling in there. And concentrate on one business model. Pick something you believe in. Pick something you think will be around for years to come, because it's easier to refine and improve upon a single model and skill set than it is to spread your energy thinly across multiple and succeed in none of them.